Do you know your history? For many, it's as simple as thumbing through a photo album or a family tree.
But what if your history held something even the books couldn't properly capture? News 10's Rondrell Moore and photojournalist Garrett Brown uncovered a tale that ties a search for freedom to a valley legacy.
You see it in broad daylight. In fact, you've probably driven through it. But chances are you don't really know about this land in Vigo County. So let's take a journey to find the history of Lost Creek.
It has been hidden for so long, mostly because many of the families have moved away.
Hidden past, at least to many, but to those who know it, like Mary Lee Hagan from the Vigo County Historical Society, oh, what a story it is. Let's start from the beginning, 1828 in North Carolina to be exact.
Farmers, they were looking for a new place to settle. They wanted to get away from the harassment because of the color of their skin.
6 black families before the Civil War in the South. Dee Reed, a local history buff, knows the tale as though it's her own.
It was illegal to read and write, it was illegal to hold church services even.
But this isn't the story of a slave escape.
As I say, they were free men. They were not slaves that were escaping from slavery.
Born free landowners and farmers before Lincoln abolished slavery. You don't hear it that often, but it did happen.
History tells us that there were about 200 to 400,000 free people of color pre-Civil War.
So these freemen needed a new place, and they needed some assurance before they left.
A gentleman named Bowen Roberts rode on horseback to this area from North Carolina. He had been sent as a scout to this area.
And the legend has it that he did return to the families and say, you'll be very surprised. There are hogs running around the forest with knives and forks in their backs.
That land overflowing with food for the taking, the northeast part of Vigo County. You know it as Lost Creek.
Oh, it was a long journey for them to make, but it was a place that they felt they would have the freedom that they were seeking.
A trek hundreds of years ago, but one that would mesh perfectly with Wabash Valley history.
Their young people became professionals in this community. They were barbers, they were undertakers, they were grocers.
Leaving a permanent legacy of hard work, tradition, and family that stands to the present. Now, you may wonder, is anyone from those original 6 families still around the area today? We found plenty. In fact, remember what we said about Dee Reed?
The family that I'm connected to from those 6 families was the Dixon Stewart family.
The history is her own.
I'm so proud to be part of that legacy because it's not just my family story, it's a part of American history that many of us have never heard.
But hers is far from the only record we found. In fact, you've got to meet Dee's mother. You could call her a living treasure trove of history. And when you hear what's on her property that has even record books taking notice, you'll understand what a living legacy truly is. In Vigo County with photojournalist Garrett Brown, Rondrell Moore, News 10.
You can catch the second part of Lost Creek Found History tomorrow on News 10.
Interesting story.